Hi there and welcome to NTS Golf. In this episode I'm going to be doing a round review that I played recently at Porters Park Golf Club. So just to give you a little introduction, I've not played at Porters Park before. I was taken by one of my good friends that I play golf with, and it was recommended to me, one of the best in the area around St Albans and Watford way. I went and played on a county card and really enjoyed it. It was a lovely course, very lush, very green, fairly tight on certain holes as well, and quite long on the day because it was playing quite windy also. It's a parkland course, long in places, some long holes, some short holes, good range of holes really. The par 3s in particular were very, very pleasant, real picturesque par 3s. Now sadly we were fairly short on time, that we were a 3-ball, and because of that it just meant that I couldn't take any photos sadly. But if you go on their website you can see loads of photos. They've got a really nice gallery. It's over 100 years old, so well established golf course, and you could tell that by the greens and the whole condition of the course. Now sadly there was a lot of rain the night before, so because of that it meant the course was quite wet. Not wet underfoot though, it wasn't splashing up through your trousers and on your golf shoes, but it just meant there wasn't much roll on the fairway, and you'll notice this in my statistics that I'll show you in a minute. However, it just meant that the drives weren't running out, but you could position them a lot easier. You weren't having to fear that they were going to run off the fairways and miss too much. And likewise, because of that as well, it meant the greens were nice and receptive, so you could again go for the flags. There was not much roll at all, so nice and good for positional play and for scoring play as well. I'll show you what I did now on the round review via Game Golf. It's the first time I've done one of these videos, so hopefully it'll come out right, and hopefully you'll see how well I played and what I did, and the different statistics as well. Hopefully not too boring either for you, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes. And if I can get the computer working correctly, you'll be able to see it on the screen in just a moment. So, great big top-down view. I'm using the Game Golf system, and here's Porters Park in itself. As you can see, it was played a few weeks ago. It was fairly windy, although it was more windy than that, and nice sunny day as well. Overall I shot 7 over. Not too bad, first time around, and like I said it was quite boggy and quite wet from the night before, so very tricky in that sense. 7 over, a few over my handicap, but on a good course, that's fairly respectable, and I know I could shave a good few shots off of that. Now this is where we get down to the nitty gritty. Fairways, accuracy. That's normally my forte, very low down in this time. That was a bit worrying, but I came back through the next few rounds after that. But still, because of that, it meant I had to play with a good short game, and there's my scrambling stats. Greens in reg again, not very good, but again, that's why my scrambling stats were pretty good. So let's get into it. Okay, first hole, fairly easy, but still got my par, but made a little bit of a meal out of it, but didn't do too bad. Started off, played off the yellow tees, nice 5-wood, nearly got myself in trouble though, put it near the bunker, but after that fairly simple from then on. Nice wedge onto the green, 50 odd yards, and 2 putts. There's my par. Okay, next hole, number 2. So this one here, number 2, fairly short, par 4. I hit a nice 3-wood down, again missed the fairway though, a bit worrying. Played for the wind, didn't catch it. Stayed there, short of the bunker though, so that was fine. Had an 8-iron onto the green, and then onto the green and 2 putts. That's it. I'll take that. There's another par. Par 4, long par 4 this one. Didn't help myself here. Put it into the rough. Another shot I leaked to the right hand side. However, I made up for it. I hit a nice 5-wood out of the wet rough, just shy of the green. Then sand wedge, chipped it up to just a couple of feet and hold the putt, so it's good up and down. So it keeps me going at level, and also gives me good confidence for a good up and down as well. Okay, so going the other way. This is a really tough hole now. I had a really nice drive, probably one of my best ones to begin with, and sadly it just took a little bit of a bounce left into the rough. So of course then it meant more wet rough to come out of. This time I hit a really good 5-wood. Again, just short of the green where the bunker is. Hit a really good chip shot to about a couple of feet, and again hold the putt. The chips were coming up really nicely, checking close to the hole, giving me fairly simple tap-in putts to go from there. Okay, so the 5th hole. After a few that had gone right, I overcompensated. Trying for a bit more, I shouldn't have done that. I should learn my lesson, not going too much. Really good hole this one, looks lovely off the tee. I put it left though, left into the rough. Then it came a big problem then, and it wasn't really my fault. But I was in the left rough. I tried to hit 6-iron onto the green, thought nothing of it. As I hit it, sadly it hit this tree here and pinged left. And it pinged left down into the edge of the stream, which I had to take a drop. Managed to take a drop, had to go around this tree here, put it into the bunker, but managed to get up and down. So, you know, fairly positive result out of that. Okay, next hole, good par 3 this one. Very picturesque, going up the hill, lined with bunkers into a nice small entrance. Hit a good 8-iron into wind, so it was fine. That's why I didn't go quite so far, and stopped fairly quickly on the entrance as well. Big uphill entrance just here. So it came down, stopped exactly where it was. A couple of feet more and it would have got just onto the fringe or just onto the green and maybe gone a little further. Had a really good putt off the fringe, put it to 3 or 4 foot and hold the putt. Great, so there's another par. So now we're going good again. Then on the 7th, now this was a bit annoying this hole. I took a 5 here, even though I hit probably my best drive of the day. Hit a really good driver down there, straight into the wind I think it was. And then I hit a really good 5-iron. Now sadly from the rain before the night before, it had rained really heavily, and this piece in the shade here, this is where I put my ball. Hit my 5-iron, didn't go that far, and stopped virtually instantly into its pitch mark. I then had not much to play with, bit of a boggy lie, and I duffed it. Didn't hold my hands through strong enough, and the ball landed on the fringe. 2 putts, I walk off with a 5. So shame. Dropped a silly shot really, shouldn't have done that. Okay, the next hole. This is the boundary of the course now, where it starts coming round by the houses. Very picturesque. This is a lovely par 5. Lovely par 5. And initially it's very tricky because you've got the stream to contend with here and it's also going uphill. Now I hit a good drive up here, just into the bank on the right hand side. Then a 6-iron just shy of the green, which was good. Just hit a chip shot up and just a couple of putts to get my par, so that's fine. Then the next hole, nice par 3, beautiful par 3 down the hill. One of the things about Porter's Park course was the par 3s, they were fantastic. This one here, downhill, 8-iron, hit a lovely 8-iron, screamed all over it, and then the wind moved it slightly in the air, pushed it onto the fringe, that's fine. 2 putts, walk off with my par, fine, excellent. Okay, next hole, not my best drive here. Trying to get a bit more around the corner. It kind of worked, but I got quite lucky in the sense that it stayed out from the tree, so that was good. Put it onto the left-hand side, but again, it's another fairway missed, unfortunately. Now I hit a really good 3-wood, excellent 3-wood, and I only left myself with, what, 70 yards? Just under 70 yards. Hit a good sand wedge to about 5 foot, missed the putt sadly, left the putt short. Now the 11th, this is my eventful hole on the course today, but I got my par. Now this is what I've been trying to do recently. If I'm getting in trouble, I'm still getting my pars. I'm still working really hard with the short game and it's paying dividends. So from here, as you can see from the drive there, I had 1, 2, 3 bunkers, 4, 5 bunkers to contend with. I was a little bit worried about the carry for these first few. Don't know why. I should have read the yardage better. Pushed it left. Pushed it left into the trees. Now from there I'm now struggling a bit because I'm now blocked out going to the green by these trees just here. So I then hit a 6-iron out, tried to curve it around, didn't quite get hook on it, but that's fine, it leaves me fairly close to the green. In rough mind, but I managed to hit a lovely, lovely sand wedge, really fantastic out the rough. 65 yards, 3 to 4 feet, hole the putt, there's my par. When you see it in total, doesn't look the best, a bit zigzaggy, but I scrambled really well on that hole. Okay, so hole 12, par 3, another good par 3, heavily bunkered as you can see. Into the wind, quite a strong wind today as well. Hit a soft 4-iron, and that was a good idea. It got me onto the green, onto the left side of the green. And then 2 putts from a fair distance, but putted it up closely, popped it in. There's my par, another good one. Okay, so now here's my birdie of the day on the par 5, so a good pickup hole to do that on. So there's a good driver down, not much run off this fairway sadly. Another 3 wood down, left me with 90 yards in, 85, 90 yards in. Hit an excellent gap wedge to about 6 foot, hold the putt down the hill, fantastic. Got my birdie. So now we're really getting better now. 14. Okay, so 14 is a lovely par 3, another lovely par 3. Looking down the hill, teeing off up here, going down this stream into a green. Managed to hit a really good 5-iron, but it stopped again on the soft green, and then 2 putts, get my par. So that's fine. 15. Now this was a silly one on 15. 15 teed off over here, teed off over the stream. I saw the hole as an easy hole, so I just did not think properly. Wanted to put it about here, give myself just a fairly simple iron into the green and see if we can make a birdie putt. Now I didn't concentrate on the shot on this one and left it outright. Left it outright, put it into the trees. Next shot, I tried to hit a punchy 4-iron down and through the trees. Caught a tree here, pinged out over to the other fairway. So now it's okay, not too bad. I then hit another good 4-iron. Sadly, slightly left, and it just bounced into the bunker. But from here, I then get up and down to get my bogey. So that's pretty good. Hit a really good bunker shot to 4 feet with a lot of check on it. Hold that putt. Now, tough finishing 3 holes now. So par 4, long par 4 here. Hit a nice drive though. 230 odd yards into the wet rough. So it's all carried to 230 yards. Then 4-iron. Had to really dig this out. Dig this out just short of the green. Hit a nice punchy, fizzy one out of the wet rough. Then it was a lovely sand wedge pitch shot, and pitched it on virtually, ran past the hole, just passed by about a foot, hold the putt. Excellent par there, really pleased with that one. 17 now wind's changed slightly and it's into wind, very strong. Hit my driver, hit my 4-iron, into the wind, just shy into the bunker sadly. From here, I'm thinking, fine, on the green, let's see what we can do about it. Hit a good bunker shot, slightly stronger than intended, put it to the back of the green, fine. Then I hit my putt, just didn't read the break. I managed to put it up pin high, but I missed it by 3 feet sadly. And then coming down, it just wiggled on me. First bad putt of the day. Push, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a wiggle off the excellent greens. The only bobble I had all day long, and it missed. But sadly, it's another shot dropped. So I got my 6 out of there. So that's no good. So we now need a good hole to finish on. And yeah, I pretty much got it. Not too bad. Could have been a slightly better. Hit a good drive. Slightly wind-tailed it off, but I got lucky with it, just shy of the bunker. Another 5-wood. I hit probably more 5-woods today than I have done in a long time. Hit it just shy of the green. Excellent. Walking down to it, I'm thinking, brilliant. Close pin. I can get this close. We'll get up and down. Walk off with the par on the last. Get down there. It's all been shaded by last night's rain and things like that, and it's really boggy and muddy there, unfortunately, and I duffed the chip. Duffed it to here, onto the green, but then I hit a nice chip shot onto the kind of the tier comes down this slope here. Managed to hit it really close with a nice little checky chip shot to about 4 foot, downhill 4 foot, hold the putt. So pretty good in total, not too bad. Like I said, overall 7 over first time around. Could have probably knocked off 3 or 4 shots next round if I play, of equal level next time round, just by knowing where to place it, where to miss the green slightly. Give myself slightly easier up and downs or not to go in those bunkers as well. So overall pretty pleased. I'd count that close to handicap. And if you can see from the summary here, great round, not too shabby. So started off well, loads and loads of pars, few bogeys, just the 1 birdie sadly. Need to work on that, a bit more aggressive. I need a few more birdies in my few rounds coming forwards. But yeah, not too bad at all, not too bad. Okay, so as you can see, I played pretty well. I was pretty pleased with that. There's always room for improvement, obviously. If we had no room for improvement, we'd all be professionals and playing like Tiger Woods was in his heyday. So yeah, much to improve on. However, a lot of good in there as well. Sadly today, my driving wasn't quite there. I missed a fair few fairways, not as, too many really, and more than I normally do. But because of that, it meant that it honed my short game, and one outweighed the other one. So my short game was pretty good today, and I got up and down a fair few times. And not so much with the putts, my chip in and my pitch in was really close, so I was really pleased about that. So that was good. But it just meant that, yeah, from my drives on the fairway, it just meant longer shots into the greens. The rough was very lush, it was very thick and wet as well. So the average yardages for my clubs were probably coming out shorter than I would be hitting them. But I took that into account and made sure I hit plenty of club to get through it at the same time. My mid-irons were pretty good, and I was pleased with the way that I played the par 3s. They were all pretty solid as well. A slight flaw that I noticed, and it's cropped up through game golf, and you'll see this probably with the more round reviews that I do. I just was coming up short. Not too short, but just generally short. It's one of the bits of my game that I need to improve on really, and I need to force myself to hit more club all the time and not be afraid about that. So that's that's what I need to really kind of work on. I also need to work on my driving of the golf ball as well. I was a bit too out of tempo today. My tempo wasn't quite there, and I was probably trying to hit it too hard as well because of the wind and the slightly longer course as well. So I just need to remember that to keep my rhythm, make sure I hit it out of the middle of the golf club, and then it will make its way down the fairway. Let the club do the work. That's the key. And for me, my rhythm is key. I can't get too much out of rhythm, because then the more I get out of rhythm, the more I don't find the middle of the club face, and the more the shots go a bit more wayward. So definitely something to improve on there. But the positives, I scored well. On a day which I didn't hit quite so many fairways that I normally should do, I scored really well. I was really pleased with my short game. I've made sure now that I'm practicing as much short game as I am long game. I've realised over the years that the lower my handicaps become, the more I've got to practice on my short game, the more I have to get up and down, and the more I have to get those wedges and closer pitch shots as close as possible to give myself a chance of holding these putts. So there were a few times today when I had some really good pars because I managed to get wedges in really close indeed. 70 yards, hit it to 3 or 4 feet, hold the putt, salvage my par, or make a birdie out of it as well. So a lot of good in there. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it gave you a little bit more of an insight on the course. Sorry there was not enough media from the course, but at least you got to see the top-down view from the map on how I did. So yeah, please leave comments below. Tell me what you think of the video and what the round review is. Have you played at this course? Have you played at Portsmouth Park? Are you a member there? What are your experiences like of the course as well? If you like it, please subscribe, post comments below, and yeah, tune in soon for my next instalment and my next vlog post. Thanks for watching.